Hey y'all, it's Pambela with Real Talk, and welcome to my series, Why Did I? Now, I'm about to give y'all another uncut version about some things that I want to share that's a little bit more exclusive as I did in the last video. And I want to say this again to everyone that I will not be mentioning anyone's name. I will not be mentioning anyone's name, but I will keep it real. I'm going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth about the pain, the hurt, the manipulation, everything that I can remember. With that being said, let's get right into it. Now, y'all, the abuser. The abuser always wanted to abuse me. I can remember one time where we always moved around. Let me just clarify that right now, y'all. We moved around so much to it was just ridiculous. Like it's just like we couldn't stay in one spot. I came down there, I had my own place, and I ended up with a guy, and now I'm just moving all over the place. Like, this man really put me in a predicament that I didn't have to choose to be, but I chose because I was young and dumb. But I can remember one time where we had to move again, and we ended up staying in a hotel room. Like, we had got a nice little hotel. I mean, it was like a 4.5 star, but it did the job. But we lived at the hotel for like maybe a week or two. We were there for a while, and I can remember trying to get to work because we only had one car, and he worked way out on the water, and then I worked way out going to a different area. Like it had got real crazy, and I can remember me and him getting in an argument one night. It was a night before both of us had to go to work, and he was trying to accuse me of being in the room, like when I was off from work, he would be at work. He trying to accuse me that I'm letting people come in the room, y'all. Now, he getting delusional now. Like, he trying to say he saw somebody coming in the room. I'm like, well, who did you see come in the room? Because ain't nobody came in the room. Like, why would I have somebody up in the room? They got cameras. Go up to the front and check the cameras. So with that being said, he steady trying to accuse me about somebody coming in the room, talking about what he gonna do when he get off from work. We just going back and forth like we always do. So the night got off from work. I'm at home at the room, chilling. I done got everything situated for us. When they got us some food or whatever, and he take a shower. Now, mind you, he was already calling me all day, trying to FaceTime me. On one of the little phones that I had, and I'm like, this stuff is all blurry. Like you can't see nothing. He want me to put the phone up and set the phone up in the room while I'm sitting in the room, so he could just sit there and watch me in the room. Like, who does that? But anyway, so he get there, and we're just sitting there, we talking or whatever, and he back on this. What you been doing all day? Who you been on the phone with? Like, let me check the phone. Like, we just going back and forth. I'm like, I'm tired of this, And I had got to a point to where, I call my sister, and I was trying to get out of there. Like, he got mad, he snatched the phone, he broke the phone, he broke my phone. um it got to the point, y'all, where we were fighting so bad in that room. This man snatched the phone cord out the wall where I couldn't even use the phone, y'all. And when I say when he snatched the phone cord out the wall, my my family don't even know about this, and I don't think I ever told anybody this, but he beat me. He took the phone cord, y'all. He beat me with the phone cord, y'all. I was bleeding. He was cutting into my skin with the cord, hit me on my back like I was a slave. Like, I had so many webs across my body, y'all. He grabbed me. He had to put me in a chokehold. Um, he turned the stove on. He was trying to put my face on the stove. Like, these are things that I remember, and I do have people that contest to that. I have family members that can contest to that. Um, I mean, it had just got bad, y'all. It was just things that I would just keep it to myself that, I wasn't telling nobody about, and when we went through that night, he just sitting there looking at me. It's to the point where I hadn't got up under the cover, y'all, and balled up like a cocoon. So if he tried to grab me or hurt me, he would, like, hit the cover. It wouldn't hurt so bad. I had to ball myself up in the cover where this man, if he wanted to hit me again with that cord, it wouldn't hurt so bad. You know, that's sad. You know, I mean, I could still remember all this stuff just as clear as it could be. You know, I mean, it was just bad, y'all. I just thinking about it just make me sick to the stomach. But I got to tell my story because I know it's somebody else out there that's going through the same thing that I went through. It may not be the same events, but somebody's out there being abused every day. And we got to stick together as women and tell our stories and try to encourage each other. Now, let me get right back into it, y'all. So after that had happened, I ended up sleeping in the other bed because it was two beds, and I ended up staying balled up under the cover all night. He kept bothering me, talking about he's sorry. Let's take a shot. I didn't even want to get in the water because the water was gonna burn, y'all. It was like it was gonna burn my cuts. Like I was bleeding. When I woke up the next morning and I got up from under that cover, it was blood everywhere, y'all. I had to get new sheets. I had them bled all night laying up under the cover because I was scared to come from under the cover. I thought he was gonna do something to me, and that's just sad. But you know, I just want to let y'all know, like it wasn't good. I didn't deserve that. You know, no woman deserves that. And I just want somebody to just hear my story. Like, it's a lot of women out there, like me myself, that's always, being abused. We always being taken advantage of, especially when you good peoples, when you got a good heart. You know, we always the ones that get done wrong. But as you know, I can remember one time, he didn't have no money. I didn't have no money. He didn't have no money. I ain't have no money. And he smoked cigarettes. He was smoking the most stinking ass 305, you know. Oh God. But anyway, so he was like, I need you to go to the store and get me some cigarettes. I'm like, get you some cigarettes? I don't even smoke cigarettes. He's like, well, I need you to go get me some cigarettes. I'm like, well, how am I gonna get you some cigarettes? Somebody, you better figure it out. I'm like, what you mean figure it out? This man was trying to get me to go panhandle, y'all. And if anybody don't know what panhandling is, that's when you go out, you stand out and wait for somebody to come pull up, like how some of them homeless people be doing, and you ask for money. He wanted me to go out and ask for money so that I can buy him some cigarettes. Now ain't that some shit? How you gonna get me to go out there and panhandle to go get you some damn cigarettes? Let me tell you something. I didn't take my ass out there to do no shit like that. Now I knew better. I was not gonna go out there and ask nobody for no money. If he wanted cigarettes, he should have went out there and got them himself. See, that's what I'm saying, y'all. It's a lot of low life men out there that just don't care. You know, they think they can just get with women and treat them in any type of way. That's not the way you treat somebody. That's not the way you keep somebody. You can't get with somebody and then treat them good in the beginning, and then all of a sudden you just turn into a monster. Like, ain't nobody finna stay with you doing all that. You know, I just want to encourage somebody to hear my story and understand you don't have to do it. Get out of it now. If it's going on right now, run for the border. Because I'm telling you right now, and I done said it before, it ain't going to stop. It's going to get worse. They're going to always say they're sorry, and they're not sorry. And I just want to keep it real with y'all, you know, and this real talk. And I'm going to say this again. When you fall in love with somebody, the love always bring lies. And then you got to deal with the lessons. You know, the lessons, that's the part right there that hurt the worst. When you didn't learn your lesson, that's when you realize, that's when you take accountability. And I'm taking accountability right now because I allowed this shit into my life. But I'm gonna get back with y'all. You know, we got chapter 8 coming up, and I know y'all waiting to hear what's coming up next. As I say, it gets worse and worse. It don't get better, it get worse and worse. And that's real talk. I'm gonna see y'all. I'm gonna talk to y'all soon.